Hey Familia, I know you have been waiting all week to find out, has baby dose arrived? And the answer is no. Baby dose is still waiting to make her appearance. I had my doctor's appointment yesterday and we are making progress, but very minimal progress. So that was a little of a letdown. So let's talk about this week's bump date. We are 38 weeks along, almost 39. And I'm hoping this is our last bump date because our next bump date will be next Friday. And hopefully she's here by then. I'm hoping. 38 weeks, she is the size of a mini watermelon. Or if you wanna get fancy, she's the size of the crown from the Princess Bride movie. Or the 80s, 90s nostalgia item, which is a spell and speak or speak and spell. So that's exciting. She's about 7 pounds in there. Or you can compare her to the length, which is 19 to 20 inches long. So we have no idea. No idea. But she is measuring for 38 weeks when the doctor did the measurement from like the pelvis to the sternum. So that's good because she's making progress in that area. Still thinking she's a little small because she's not quite on like where she should be, because Wednesdays when I have my doctor's appointments, I am actually like 5 days into like the week. So like I'm 38 weeks in 5 days when I go in. So yeah, she's like a little on the small side, I think, but who knows, we might be surprised. I did have a dream the other night that I was gonna have an 11-pound baby. I don't think there's an 11-pound baby in here, but if there is, I don't know where all my organs went. So that was kind of a scary moment. This week overall has been really, really good. I've been sleeping exceptionally well. Like I wake up once a night now to go to the bathroom and that's it. The worst part about waking up, and if you've been pregnant, maybe you've had this, is like the waddle to the bathroom, because like your body's like just waking up and your like legs are like adjusting and you're like waddle. And it's ridiculous, but that's okay. That's all right. It's not that bad. Much better than when I was pregnant with Amelia. Amelia, I actually had preeclampsia right at the end of my pregnancy. So my ankles were really swollen, my hands would get really swollen at night. Those were like the big like things that I could actually tell. I was getting headaches and seeing things a little bit more. It was nuts. Overall, we are really, really ready for baby dose to arrive. Elijah and I were hoping that when I had my doctor's appointment this week that she'd be like, hey, you're 7 centimeters along. And unfortunately, we didn't really make that much progress. I'm still 4 centimeters, almost 5. And the doctor ended up saying, hey, do you want to do like a membrane sweep? Which is supposed to help like naturally progress the labor, 24 to 48 hours. So far, nothing has happened. A little bit of a bummer, but we'll just keep waiting and seeing. I was really hoping to meet her soon, or like yesterday. But that's okay. Like Elijah and I both accepted it. We got our favorite meal, Portillo's. Yeah, so we're just hanging out and waiting. I think the hardest part is waiting, especially with having like a baby this time. Not a baby, but like another child. Is like you don't know when labor is gonna start, so you don't know when to call somebody to come over. And because Amelia's labor moves so quickly, we are like on the edge of our seats. Like if I start going to labor, we're gonna call somebody right away because we need to get to the hospital as fast as we can. And so that's been a little bit of a stressor because everybody's schedules are different, and like some days some family can do this day and some family can do that day. And so now we're just kind of like on the waiting game, and everybody keeps texting and calling, how are you feeling today? And I appreciate the check-ins, I really, really do. But when you're not in labor, it's just like, yep, still pregnant. So it's kind of a bummer. But nothing's happened yet. On Saturday, actually, my mom and grandma came over, and my grandma watched Amelia, and my mom and I cleaned the house like top to bottom. Floors, walls, baseboards, windows, like furniture, everything. And we were like convinced that was gonna put me into labor. And it didn't. So she's still in there, she's tight. So hopefully we continue to make progress. and she'll be here around 40 weeks. If you're watching this video on Friday, October 1st, that's when my 39 weeks starts. So hopefully she arrives within the 39th week. I really hope that we are not still pregnant at like 40 and 41 and 42 weeks. The app was telling us that she's shedding more lanuga. I think that's what it is. She's starting to drink her amniotic fluid. Her eyes are picking the color they're gonna be, and her brain is still getting ready to go. And like, I don't know, I think it's an amazing miracle that I've carried her this long and I've had such a wonderful pregnancy, blessed about that. I think my body is built to have babies, but I don't think mentally I'm there. And I say this because my first trimester, it was really, really rough. I had a really hard time mentally. And then like trimester, things got better. And then like the third trimester, I was like, I'm still doing okay, but I have like those days where I just like get panicked. And I had one of those days this past week where I just felt like my tight chest came back and I like started panicking and everything was making me cry. So that was like a little emotional, and I just remember like weeping over everything. Like I couldn't control it. I was just upset. And I think like the big problem, or like what was the trigger, was just thinking like, this is my last day with Amelia, or this could be my last day with Amelia. I need to enjoy this, but I really want to do this, or I'm so tired and I just can't keep up with her. And so I was having such an emotional day, and I texted some of my friends and I said, hey, can you just pray for me? I'm having a hard time. And I just felt like overwhelmed with like people caring. And I went to bed feeling a little bit better, and the next day ended up being really, really good, because I remember waking up and saying, you know what, God, like if today's the day, then that's the day, and if it's not, then we're gonna just keep living our lives and enjoying what we have. So it's been much better since then. And I think that's like when I found out I wasn't gonna be induced, or like I was farther along, I was let down, but everything was okay. And everything's gonna be okay. And if she wants to hang out longer, that's fine. Like, there's no rush, no rush. So yeah, that is our bump date. Sorry it's not more exciting. Sorry there's no baby to share with you. We are excited to get to share our birth story with you, and more updates to come. So I hope this is our last bump date, but if not, I'll see you next week. So thanks so much for tuning in, and thank you again for all your continuous support. Arrivederci. Bye.